Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Last night, someone broke into Ishan's room. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped him with a loud alarm and alerted the mom.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
ओए, मेरी गाड़ी ठोकेगा?
पर गलती तो आपकी है।
मेरी गलती? तू जानता है मेरा बाप?
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Donald Trump has this suicidal streak as far as his governance is concerned. He's decided to impose a $100,000 fee, $100,000 for H1-B visas for skilled foreign workers in the US. Now, this whole idea of the great American dream is now not just at the crossroads. Question marks are there about it, and if this may go well with Donald Trump's political agenda and please his so-called MAGA vote base. But consider this. Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella and Indira Nooyi, all of them achieved their American dream after moving to the US on H1-B visas. Now, if they were to seek employment for the first time, Satya Nadella would have to shell out, along with Indira Nooyi, Sundar Pichai and maybe Elon Musk as well, $100,000 as a fee. I have two straight questions today. Has the American dream, therefore, failed, and is it clearly over, absolutely over, for Indian tech professionals? We must come to terms with this fact, and to Indian tech professionals, I would say, don't be under any sort of sentimental attachment to the American dream. This is not just arm twisting by Trump to get an upper hand on the negotiations in the India-US bilateral trade deal. I believe there's a sense of finality to this move. It will be difficult to reverse, and this is the time for Indian techies working in the US to truly ask themselves why they want to be in a country that does not value them, which does not respect them. Why do they desperately want to be in a country that makes them feel unwanted? That is telling them effectively that they will never be part of American society, that they will forever be marginalized. Unfortunately, for some Indian techies, they believe this is just one bad dream. It's not. It's irreversible change in policy. Regardless of who comes to power, this will not change. And therefore, I completely agree when Sridhar Vembu of Zoho tweets, as he tweeted day before yesterday, he says that while it may be difficult, this is the right thing for talented Indian technology professionals and other professionals to come back to the country, serve the country, and even if it takes 3 to 5 years to settle down, they will be doing something far more productive. More than that, Indians in the United States of America should not be under any illusion that this is not aimed at them. Donald Trump is a use and throw politician. He has used the Indian vote. He got people like Shalabh Kumar and others and Hindu Republican Association to woo Indian voters. And now he's going after Indians because 71% of H1-B visas are held by Indians. Indians constitute 71% of H1-B visas. Of course, this is aimed at Indians. Indians make up 30 to 35% of Silicon Valley's workforce. This is aimed at that workforce. In 2024, 2.83 lakh talented Indians got the H1-B visas. Now, to those 2.83 and to all of those who are on H1-B visas, I ask you, why would you want to be in a country which is telling you to get out? If this seems too crude, and if you still believe sentimentally that no, this will all go and one day you will be an American, you will never be. You will always be marked out. I'm not asking you to flee, but consider your options well. Consider the future of your families, and if possible, come back and serve your motherland. There are so many people who've done that, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, give the example of the great Sridhar Vembu. He's a great entrepreneur, built this company, and I just had a tweet some time back which was put out by Ashwini Vaishnav, who says, I am moving to Zoho, our own Swadeshi platform for documents, spreadsheets and presentations. I urge all to join Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's call for Swadeshi by adopting indigenous products and services. Now, who has made Zoho a $1 billion plus revenue organization? It's Sridhar Vembu. And he has come back to India. He runs this magnificent organization, ladies and gentlemen, from Tamil Nadu. And he is doing something that so many other techies can follow and take an example from. Turning back to the situation in H1-B visas, you can do a lot for your country from Indian soil. Ladies and gentlemen, though just 1.5% of the US population, Indians pay 5 to 6% of America's total income tax. And yet, Trump is effectively telling them that they are not wanted. They are paying $250 to $300 billion annually in income tax in the US. As of 2024, 16 Fortune 500 companies are led by Indian origin CEOs who together employ 2.7 million Americans and generate over $1 trillion in revenue. And they are now being told that you're not really wanted here. We want a MAGA vote bank to serve Trump. So to Donald Trump, get your MAGA vote bank to have the kind of intellectual prowess and work attitude of the Indians working in the US, and that would have been possible. Indians have competed in American society to get where they are. And therefore, once again, I truly believe that 40%, ladies and gentlemen, of Google's engineers are Indians. Are they not on H1-B visas? Out of almost 1 million physicians in America, 2.6 lakh are immigrants. And among them, 59,000 are Indians, making up 22% of all immigrant doctors. So Indians contribute to health, technology, startups, and every aspect of the capitalist economy in the United States of America. And today, if all those people were to come back, if half of them were to come back, imagine the impact they would have on our society. And India would welcome them back with open arms. And here is a country going at 7.88, 8.5% in the future. Will we not be absolutely blessed if they come back? Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is making a big mistake because 72 of the 358 US unicorns since 2018 have been founded by Indians. These are not empty statistics. These are realities. And therefore, this is a great opportunity for us to stall the brain drain, ladies and gentlemen. There have been many cases where the Indians have gone across the world as skilled and global-minded citizens, and they have gone and built the economies of all these Western countries. If these Indians can build these billion-dollar companies abroad, why can't we create the same unicorns in India? Why can't 1 out of every 2 Indian companies be a global company? We can, ladies and gentlemen, from manufacturing to IT, to R&D, to artificial intelligence. This could actually be the turning point turning point for our economy. Let's make the most of it. Let's thank Donald Trump for showing the road back home to the best of minds from India in the United States of America. And to all my fellow Indians who are there in the US, who are going through pain and difficulty because of the moves of Donald Trump, be assured your country awaits your return. Let's debate.
From the Silicon Valley to Hyderabad, a seismic shift in US immigration policy is sending ripples across the tech world. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation imposing a new $100,000 fee on H1-B visa applications, designed to attract highly skilled foreign workers. The H1-B program has long been the gateway for global talent to the United States. But the Trump administration now argues that the H1-B system is being exploited.
One of the most abused visa systems in our current immigration system has been the H1-B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America.
The country would rather not have to pay $100,000, but they'd rather, how do you do that? You hire Americans. So there's an incentive to hire American. But there may be instances where it's better off doing it through expertise or whatever it may be. But they're both unbelievable, whether it's a gold card or anything else that we talked about today.
The Trump White House has packaged the H1-B visa fee hike as a crucial policy decision that will benefit Americans.
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs.
India, which accounts for 72% of all H1-B visa holders, is expected to feel the largest impact. Hours after Trump's announcement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized India's push for Swadeshi and self-reliance.
आज जाने अनजाने हमारी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में बहुत सी विदेशी चीजें जुड़ गई है, हमें पता तक नहीं है। हमारे जेब में कंघी विदेशी है कि देसी हमें पता ही नहीं है। हमें इनसे भी मुक्ति पानी होगी। हम वो सामान खरीदें जो मेड इन इंडिया हो।
Taking a sharp dig at Trump's policy decision, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said the US is wary of India's tech talent.
दुनिया समझती है भारत की ताकत क्या है। ऐसे ही नहीं है कि पूरे विश्व के अलग अलग देश भारत के साथ फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट भी करना चाहते हैं, भारत से व्यापार बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, संबंध सुधारना चाहते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत हमारे टैलेंट से डरते भी हैं।
President Trump boasts that companies will pay top dollar for H1-B workers.
Everyone's going to be happy, and we're going to be able to keep people in our country that are going to be very productive people. And in many cases, these companies are going to pay a lot of money for that, and they're very happy about it.
However, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has now issued a clarification that the proclamation applies only to new visas, not renewals. In a statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs here in New Delhi, they have said that the full implications of Trump's move are nevertheless being studied. But the real debate is, would this costly policy experiment prove rather expensive for Trump's America with a reverse brain drain? There's a strong view that the disincentive for America might turn into an incentive for India to retain the top IT talent and to make them herald the next wave of big tech from Hyderabad and Bengaluru instead.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there are people who look upon this as a great opportunity and then who say that, no, but it's bad because at the end of the day, it's bad for Indian talent. We should not be parochial in our thinking. We have a great panel tonight. I'm opening up questions. I have phone lines will open up from the start. And those who feel it's a setback includes economist Salam Dharanidharan, very argumentative economist from Chennai. We have Rajesh Mahapatra, who's been former editor of PTI and former editor-in-large of the Hindustan Times. They're slightly cynical about this, so we'll take them in. We have Ajay Bagga, no introduction needed, market expert, macroeconomic voice, fantastic on linking the big story together. And making his debut on my program tonight is a business leader, very, very respected writer. He's got almost 30 years of corporate life experience and global board member of FE Lions Foundation, Shubhranshu Singh. Thank you, Shubhranshu. Let me open with you since the first time you're on my program. And let's keep this in a debate format. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted that Santosh Mehrotra will be joining us at 9:25 p.m. along with the great Mohandas Pai at around the same time. Now, let's keep this in a debate format. Is it getting too romantic to say this is an opportunity? I put the hashtag H1-B opportunity. But what about the short-term loss? Shubhranshu.
Arnab, my view is that where American interest is concerned, it is fait accompli. A lot of vested interest has gone into the ink that signed that executive order, and it's a full stop where they're concerned. Our challenge is, how do we turn that into an exclamation mark? And if you see in the right perspective, it is not the larger part of the Indian IT story. Our IT and BPM sector is about $254 billion, and it employs 54 lakh people. As against that, as you were mentioning, last year, the total number of H1-Bs granted were about 400,000. And the new petitions, as they are called, last year were 141,000. Fully 72% of those were Indians, which means just about a lakh of people. If a lakh of people find that their American dream has turned into a distant mirage because of some red tape and impulsive decision-making, I do not, for one, think that that's a full stop on our IT story. However, it's a great wake-up call, because for the longest time, we have been riding the momentum that began with Y2K, and I think we have been exporting bodies. It is about time that we think about deep tech, about artificial intelligence and how we embrace it, about exporting platforms and ideas through till 2047, and stop thinking in terms of exporting bodies. As you said, they don't want us, they're welcome, but nobody can stop the flow of bits and bytes across this global network that runs the IT world worldwide.
Okay.
So I think it's a huge opportunity for value add, for disruption.
I think that's a great introduction he's had to the debate out here. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep playing the Sutradhar here because Salam Dharanidharan is our next speaker on this subject. By the way, calls are open. You're in the US, you're in India, you can always call. My only point would be, if people come back, would they come back to the right ambience? Have we done the right things? Have we brought in enough deregulation? Have we loosened the systems? Have we encouraged entrepreneurship? Will a talented Indian coming in from the US come back and find things have remarkably changed, or will he regret the move? Salim, why do you feel it's a setback?
Yeah, see, firstly, it's also a setback for the US. Simple reason being, for example, to add on to what you said, 60% of all the US hotels are owned by Indians. 70% contributes to about $700 billion. About 11% of unicorns in the US belong to Indians. Of course, Indian students each year, about 300,000 in number, generate about $10 billion. In fact, Indians indirectly provide about 11 million to 12 million American jobs, Indians living in the US. So It's also a setback to the US. But also having said it, H1B is not is the visa for high-skilled workers, but not for extraordinary workers with extraordinary ability. Then you have O1 visa, right? And if you have a PhD or if you're an R&D, then you anyways get green card. So these are students who are going from India after taking loan and studying computer science and working there, right? If they would have to be sent back, then it's a loss. For example, people there wouldn't be sent back now, but if they're already enrolled in a program, then now they'll have to come back to India. So, for example, to study in university like Stanford or even Michigan costs about 30 lakhs to 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs, right? So they'll have to come back and pay 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs to the bank. So which job would India would provide 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs per month? That's a point number one. And again, even from case of Tamil Nadu, I will have to say this, there are about 50,000, 60,000 people dependent on H1B visa who have worked very hard, went to government schools, government engineering college, then worked in Infosys, TCS, etc., and then has gone to the US. And for them, American dream was very important because they came from rural part. And when they went to the US and sent the remittances back, not just the immediate family, but the entire village grew because of them, right? Because of the investment they brought back. For example, the investment which H1B workers sent back to India, remittance, was about 1.5 lakh crores. So that pinch will be felt immediately. And what happens to those who are now working hard in IT companies, wanting to go to the US so that they can break away from the shackles of middle class, work there for 10 years, work in the US for 10 years, and come back to India and move above the social strata. So maybe for people who are in the top 5% or 3% in India, it doesn't matter. But people who are from the rural background, who want to have a social mobility, American dream was very, very important. Okay. I think that's and my another question is why India is being targeted. First 50% tariff, now H1B, because 75% of the H1B visa holders are Indian. So what is happening between the US government and Indian government? That is also something we are supposed to know. And again, if you want to attract the talent back, we have to increase our R&D spending. India's research and development spending is about 0.5%. Israel spends about 5%, 10 times higher than us. So we'll have to increase our R&D spending. India should not be a place where we manufacture things. We should be a place where new things are created and produced, right? Where new things are innovated. Even spending for IITs, for example, we spend a lot on teachers, but not on research, right? What is the research output of IIT? Of course, we have fantastic undergrad students coming out, master students, but when it comes to a PhD, even the best of the best in IIT want to go abroad, I mean, to Europe or to US to study. So we have to change it. If we could have changed it, I don't think there's no reason for people to have gone to the US in the first place. We would have, they would have remained in India itself if we could create a very good research atmosphere.
Okay, so Ajay, I just want to, I want to get in Ajay here. Do you really agree with what he said there? Salim said that the people on the H1B are not the best and the brightest. He said there are other categories for super PhDs like the Ivy Leagues, and that's not an H1B category. Is he trying to diminish, do you think Salim's trying to diminish the role of H1B visa holders?
I never said that.
No, but you were sort of indicating that they're the workforce but not the brains. That's what you sort of indicated.
No, Arnab, I am normally very gracious, but I am appalled at his reasoning. There are so many holes in it that I would need 1 hour to really debunk what he has said. And he's trying to bring in a political angle to it. No government can work on this. 1990 is when H1Bs were introduced because this quality of people were just not there. 1995, they took nurses from Philippines. So it is not only engineers, it is doctors, it is healthcare workers. Banks have about 50,000 of those H1B visas. If you have to charge 100,000, I think first as Indians, we should put this in context. What Lutnick said, he said 100,000 per annum. Then that White House press secretary issues a rejoinder saying it is a one-time only on new companies. Which are the 4 biggest companies holding H1B visas? These are American companies. Amazon is the biggest. There are 6 companies of Amazon who are holding the largest number. 14,000 just Amazon itself, AWS, Amazon X, Amazon Y, Amazon Z. Tesla owns, Microsoft, Alphabet. You name the American company and they have H1B visas which are serving them. It is not only an Indian issue. These are Indians being employed by them because on a global basis, on a value brought to the table basis, we are the best. That is what. Third, very big point. How can a president just issue an executive order like this, which can upend something which is about 35 years old? There are 16,000 Indian doctors are now working in rural America who are the only doctors in their region. There is no other doctor who will go there. 23% of residents in American hospitals are Indian doctors who have gone from here. 10,000 Indian doctors are doing residencies. They're doing their MD studies. They cannot be replaced overnight. So they are going to do a lot of this will be clawed back. This was posturing. Fourth, yes, Indian market fell today. We lost $10 billion of market cap. So I said, yes, market is seeing further. I am a fool. I don't know much. Market is understanding it. 3% the IT companies went down. Guess what? These 4 big companies in the US, or the magnificent 7 companies, all are up today. American markets are hitting a record. So Americans are not believing this, or it's not big enough. The Indians
He's already gone back on doctors. You know, doctors, the White House already gone back saying that we are going to exempt the doctors from H1-B. So the rollback has already begun. By the way, just explain.
This is Taco Trump. So, with all deference to the economist, I'm saying, sir, do your study better. This was brought in because the Americans didn't have these people. They said our software people are not finding jobs. 96% of qualified software professionals in the US have a job. Their overall unemployment rate is 4.3. They say average the economy can run till about 5% unemployment. A lot of them might be retired people, all kinds of people. 96% of the software guys are already there. We are talking about IITs getting subsidies and paying the teachers. That's not so. IISc, for example, gets a massive research grant. How do you think the Indian space program is running? How do you think 800 startups are running in our defense and in our space program? It's all the Indian R&D. Yes, we have underspent. Yes, we are nowhere in the picture like what US and China are spending. But let's not debunk these institutions which have produced over thousands of CEOs of global companies have come from our IITs, our IIMs, our ISCs, and they're very well regarded there. Final point, Arnab, they will come back on this. It is not thought out. It's not madness that there is a separation of power, that a parliament debates this for months, sees through what all will go right, what will go wrong, and then they proceed. This has just been an executive order his own press secretary had to run. You think Microsoft is wrong? I will send you 6 companies. Reuters has put out, Arnab, the exact wording of 6 companies. JP Morgan said, stay in place. Don't go abroad. You might not be able to come back. Microsoft said, if you're abroad, come back right now. People have paid $8,000 to take American flights back. In Dubai, all Emirates flights started emptying. The Indians started taking out their luggage, and they've taken back flights at $4,500 for an economy ticket. JP Morgan, Microsoft, Apple put out an advisory, don't travel abroad till you check with HR. These companies are not mad. They heard Lutnick, they went for it. Then the Americans also panicked. These all companies also have their lobbyists. They went back to them. You're destroying the American economy. Final point, Arnab. We say services will be shafted, will be nowhere if America puts in. America takes services of $46 billion from India. We take services of $46 billion, 1 billion more than Americans. We pay them. We import services. All your computers are running on Microsoft or on Apple software. Most of your mobile phones are running on American software. Who's paying for that? These companies are making 20 billion profit out of India, which we have never touched because Trump said digital taxes don't bring in, international taxes don't bring in. All these big companies are showing as if they are headquartered in Dublin. They are not paying taxes in US. They're not paying taxes in India. We have, this time in budget, we said we will not charge digital taxes. You open this, India reserves the right to come in with the digital taxes.
No, absolutely it is. Is this a pressure tactic? And does it require government intervention? Rajesh, does this require government intervention? Can the Indian government look away and say, look here, this is not really nothing of our business. We don't owe anything much to the people. If they want to come back on their own and serve the country, it's their choice, their opportunity. Or does there need to be a government level response to this? Rajesh.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, there has to be a government level response, because the government, after all, is responsible for the general welfare of all our citizens. And I would just like to go back and make a little correction. I think we are too focused on IT workers, Arnab. H1-B visa doesn't affect only IT workers. Now, give me a minute to explain how it works. So Subhranshu outlined that, okay, 100,000 people apply every year, let's say, going by the last year's statistics. Only those 100,000 people would be affected because they are the new applicants for H1-B visa. The second, as of now, we still lack clarity what happens to renewals, okay? We don't know this, what we know that it is not an annual fee, it's a one-time fee. Okay, that clarity has come, but on renewals there. But the bigger question is, we are forgetting about the hundreds of thousands of students who go to the US every year. They go with the premise, especially those who go for master's and doctoral degrees, they go with the premise that they will study there. And after that, they will get H1-B visa or F1 visa, hang around there. Trump has been effectively shutting the door on that. So no student is going to go to America now when she or he is not sure that whether she or he will get a job there, can get an H1-B visa. So this is going to be a huge, huge disincentive for Indians, students planning to go to America. Then the other point, which I think the other speaker pointed out, what happens to those who are already studying there, especially our doctoral students? What happens to them? They will have to come back here. There is absolutely going to be no job opportunity. Now, let me tell you, this visa, H1-B visas for these people was outside of the 85,000 quota, 20,000. Please understand that it was actually a backroom deal between American corporates and the government universities of United States to allow this additional quota of 20,000 so that the state universities, the government-owned universities, can move away from hiring tenured professors to hiring teaching assistants and teachers at a much lower salary. Their salaries would average about $50,000 to $60,000, okay? Now, it also affects the state universities of America. The very constituency that Trump wants to address, because the state universities cannot go out and set up campuses. The private universities, the Harvards, the Stanfords can do it, but not the state universities. And it's the state universities on which Donald Trump's own constituency is dependent upon. So they are also going to be hurt. Okay, but the point that you started with, Arnab, in the beginning, has the American dream for Indian middle class ended? The answer is a definitive yes. It has ended. Now, we can, we have always, whenever we have been hit by a crisis, we always say, seize the opportunity in adversity. Yes, of course, in every adversity, there is always an opportunity. But you have to be able to seize the opportunities. Umpteen number of times we have been hit by adversity and we have seen the opportunity that has been there in that adversity and we have failed to seize it.
No, but again, on the point which I didn't get an answer from, you made some excellent points out there, Rajesh, but where you started by agreeing with me, but I want to throw that at Santosh Mehrotra. Does this require a government-level response? What can the Modi government do here? Santosh.
I can answer.
Can we get Dr. Mehrotra on that? I'll come back to you. Mohandas Pai also joining this brilliant panel tonight. And the question at this stage of the debate, as you come in, is, and I want to throw that to Santosh Mehrotra, then you can, if you wish to join issue with him. What does the government do? Does the government need to do anything? It's Trump's decision. The students didn't ask the government of India before getting a H1-B visa and deciding to work for American companies. They could have come back home then. It's as if every crisis is the responsibility of the Modi government, Santosh Mehrotra.
No, Arnab, that's not the argument. But well, let me, if you permit, let me argue by analogy. We have to see this as an opportunity in the following way. And for the opportunity to be realized, I think, as Rajesh was indicating, the government may need to act. So let me try and spell out a scenario for you. By analogy, I meant that, one of the great success stories of China has been that it was able to not only send hordes and hordes of students abroad, but they also attracted them back with jobs and with positions of very, in other words, the higher education system expanded, the research ecosystem expanded, the number of R&D positions in companies grew, and all of that will require government intervention. So, of course,
that's
it's
very
not
long-term thinking, not for the present.
I haven't finished. If I may, if you allow me, I'm hoping that I'm sounding like a patriot, unlike the anti-national you think all of us who argue against you are. Just remind ourselves that China has succeeded in a way that we now need to succeed because our demographic dividend has run out. We are the one major country in the top 5 of the global economy whose dividend is still there. Our dividend runs out in 15 years. Therefore, it's absolutely critical that we attract back a lot of the young people who went there, and many of them will find jobs. GCCs are growing. And those who still want to go abroad will find jobs in Japan, in Taiwan, maybe in China, and in Philippines and in Mexico and so on. So all of that is, however, we should try and see not just the GCC opportunities, we need to see how our own university network need to invest in more research. Our private corporates need to invest in more R&D, because all the R&D that is happening in our country in the GCCs, the Global Capability Centers, are being carried out for multinationals. Now, obviously, our best talent is getting utilized there. Why shouldn't it be utilized for our own purposes?
No, Mohandas Pai, his point being, the government needs to get involved from a long-term perspective of creating the environment where these talented techies and other professionals in the US want to come back, right? How do you view this?
Radhe, what is India's challenge? India's challenge is a lack of investment. China invested $150 billion in developing AI over the last 7 years, $350 billion for the last 10 years in developing the EV industry. Okay, we have given peanuts as a country. We give 9 lakh crore as subsidies every year, both for the center and the states. How much do we invest in innovation? How much do we invest in startups and others? Peanuts. Okay, let's be very clear. We are not invested. We have been doing other things. We give money to DRDO and they keep all the IP to themselves. Only now they're doing something. ISRO is doing a great job. This public sector mentality has spoiled this country. What do we do now? We need to have a 50,000 crore fund to fund AIFs and startup deep tech companies. I had a union minister come to Bangalore. He met me and told me, Mohan, I'm very worried about the lack of innovation in our universities. What do we do? I'm very worried. I told him, sir, there are a lot of innovation happening in this place where you're sitting down with me right now. Why don't you go have a look? We arranged for him to see some companies. He was shocked with the kind of innovation. And he asked them, what is required? They said, look, we need money. We need capital to start. We don't have capital. You get seed capital. It takes you years. They don't give seed capital. It's very difficult. And then how do you grow? And then we need, for the products we produce, the public sector procurement in defense and other areas. Look at the United States. The defense and other national laboratories use the products of all these startups in deep technology. They give them business and they grow up. Look at how Palantir grew up. We don't have that attitude at all. We treat them as suspicion. Even that IDEC of the defense, try getting money for selling the products. It's very difficult. So we have systemic issues. We got to put money on the table. We have to grow, and we can make these global and enterprises go up. We have 7,200 AI startups in India.
Do we have
7,200. Come to Bangalore, I'll show you all of them. I told Piyush Goyal, come to Bangalore and let's not make comments. You come and see the ecosystem here. Bangalore's got 20,000 startups. Then you understand the real problem. The real problem is lack of capital and a market from the public sector, because defense and others use deep technologies and cutting edge technology. We got to put money. You don't put money. And you want great things to happen. You want a Microsoft. You want this and you want
So are we being wrong in assessing? Now, are we being wrong in assessing, therefore, that this is going to help us? Are we
No, look, H1-B is a different issue. What are the people are going outside America to get jobs? They feel America gives them prospects. It's got nothing to do with the IT industry or otherwise. They're going there for the job projects. I told you another channel today, 90% of Indians will leave this country if America gives them a visa tomorrow, okay? Because they feel the life will be much better in America.
Do you agree with that? No. Anyone wants to pick up issue with that? Anyone wants to pick up issue with Mohandas Pai on that? Do 90% of people, if they get an American visa, would they want to go abroad? Subhranshu wants to respond to you. Mohandas Pai, that's business leader, well-known corporate voice, Subhranshu Singh from Mumbai. Yes, Subhranshu.
Arnab, with deep respect to Mr. Pai, the fact is I served 4 years in the US across IT companies, and I did it across 2 H1-B visas, the first one for the 3 years and then 1 year afterwards. There are numerous people who go and then come back. Yes, it is very aspirational, but aspirationality does not mean better career prospects as such. And an earlier gentleman was mentioning that this pressure point across the visa regimes is becoming a fact of our lives. But I do want to bring this back on track, which is that the IT outsourcing story is a great narrative that has emerged from India, and it has become representational for our soft power. You say German engineering, Japanese quality. People say India IT outsourcing. But it is largely pivoted on affordable competence. And it was because we were shipping bodies. And now that stream is running into a trickle, we need to, as Mr. Pai was correctly saying, have deep reservoirs of capital and talent.
Mr. Pai is already disagreeing with you on that, on when you said about
value. No, we are not shipping bodies, Rajeev. We are not shipping bodies. Please, let's correct it all. We're not shipping bodies. We are doing projects. Projects means you take total responsibility. The billing may be per diem. Billing may be, per month billing and not a fixed price billing. But, we are doing projects. We're handling very big projects. We're doing many things. Let's not say we're body shippers and abuse people. Please don't do that.
No, I'm not abusing them at all, sir. I'm saying the 100,000 people who would have otherwise been on this queue minus the 100,000 that has now been charged, it totals to a very small amount compared to the $250 billion revenue that the industry makes as is. So the point is actually the Americans are being clever by half because there is immense concentration in India in terms of IT outsourcing, and these are tenured contracts. The cost will actually go back to American clients one way or the other. So I don't know who they are charging in the short term. And in my estimation, Amara's law will apply. We are overestimating the impact of this in outsourcing in the short term, but underestimating it over the long run. And I think it's that underestimation where there is great value for the future. If we embrace artificial intelligence, deep tech, semiconductor technology, we can leapfrog way beyond the kind of IT outsourcing that is making us money.
We have a few callers lined up. May I take Vishnu from Chennai? I'm coming to you, Ajay, on this very interesting conversation. Vishnu. Vishnu, are you there? Okay, so both...
Yes, I'm there.
Go on, Vishnu.
Okay, yes, actually I see this as an opportunity first, because this H1-B opportunity actually aims to throw away all the Indians actually. So we should actually first create an infrastructure in India which will actually accommodate all these Indians here, all these techies back in India. So we should also provide them with opportunities and not just infrastructure. So all these environments and changes in India will help us to contribute to the economy of India. This actually contributes.
I
to
think,
India.
yeah, but will we be able to do this in the short term? That's my only question here today. How much time do we have? Let's look at it from the point of view of an H1-B professional who realized things are log-jammed. Somebody who was working there, about to get an H1-B, or had traveled home, doesn't want to come back, or feels unwanted. People in the 0 to 5 years experience category who would feel unwanted. Their companies would say that the cost of your H1-B now, the bonus we have to pay to the American government is more than your salary. What does that person do, Salim? Rajesh? What does such a person do? It's all right for us in TV shows to say, come back home. Is it going to be easy for them to do that? What do you think?
Arnab, you asked about what the government should be doing. I think, all of these things also fall under what we call mode 4 services obligations under the WTO agreement. I don't understand why the Indian government is not talking about taking up the matter with the WTO. I think we should be taking it up there. At least, because you look at what Trump has done. He has, on one hand, catered to his domestic constituency. On the other hand, he's also killed another bird by knowing very well that this opens up another channel to put pressure on India. So why should India not be countering it on other channels?
So to that, anyone wants to counter, is it the government's problem at all? Mohandas Pai, is it the government's problem at all? Technically, is it the government's, Modi government's problem at all? Mohandas Pai. Mohandas Pai and then
Trump
Santosh.
is the law. Trump is the law. President Trump does what he wants. WTO and UN and other matters don't matter at all. Let's be very clear. Trump is the law. He's the most powerful man in the world. He does what he wants. WTO, all that, nothing works. Okay? Nothing works. What should we do? What we should do is we should invest more in deep tech. Create a 50,000 crore fund to fund innovation within this country. Make sure that deep tech creates greater employment for some of our brightest people, and make sure more people are hired within India to upgrade our technologies and IT in many of the Indian business enterprises, which is already happening in the big way. The banks are hiring IT people in a big way. Each bank is running up people. They are experts in digitization. So I think we got to make investment capital available. Once you make investment capital available in a large way, like China did, we're going to see this. We need a PLI for startups. Look at the PLI. We got huge investments in EV manufacturing. We got huge in electronics. We got huge investments in semiconductors.
It's not easy to build a business in India, no, Mohandas Pai, because there was a report which said 83% of our workforce want to be entrepreneurs. Global average is 53, which means everybody wants to be an entrepreneur in India, and yet only 5% actually start a business. And out of that, 30% of the businesses fail. So I'm saying it's.
And Arnab Bhaiya, we need capital, Bhaiya. You raise capital. How difficult was to raise capital? If you're in the
very
US,
difficult.
you'll have a queue outside the door offering you money. It's very difficult to raise capital in this country. Okay? We don't have other funds. Insurance companies don't invest in startups. Endowments don't invest here because of bad regulations. RBI hits you to get foreign capital here. They harass the foreign investors coming here. We got a very, very bad.
Yeah, but we should also. Is it really a rosy picture for them to come back? I like what Mr. Bembu said yesterday. He said, "Come back." Shining example of a person who came back, built a company, is operating it from India. Now the question here is, you come back here, it's not going to be easy for you.
It's your choice.
It's your choice. It's difficult, but make the choice. If you wish to, then make the choice. Santosh Mehrotra.
So let me make two or three sets of points very quickly. On the legal challenge, let me just remind ourselves that already in the United States itself, Trump's decision on the H1-B is going to be challenged by lawyers within the US itself. So there's going to be a domestic legal challenge, just as there is already a domestic legal challenge to the tariffs. We've still got to see how the tariffs one plays out in the Supreme Court. A federal court has already ruled against Trump. So Trump may be a law unto himself, but we will have to wait to see how it works out in the Supreme Court. Secondly, on Rajesh's point, I tend to agree with Rajesh. We can't just bank upon a legal challenge coming from domestic US lawyers. So what if Trump doesn't agree, abide by WTO? The fact of the matter is that the WTO dispute resolution
It won't work. That's what Mohandas
exists.
Pai said. This is too far-fetched.
America has withdrawn. America has
May I
withdrawn.
finish? May I finish?
Has a
I
wrong
haven't finished.
understanding.
I'm also, may I respond also to Mohandas Pai, who's, I mean, you guys just interrupt.
No, you can. Of course you can respond to Mohandas Pai. Who's stopping you?
No, I mean, I think Rajesh is absolutely spot on. A challenge has to be made in the WTO as well. Now, what I'd be interested in hearing is, under the new education policy, a fund has been created called the Research and Development and Innovation Fund. Now, a significant amount of money has been allocated, but most of it is meant to leverage private funds. Now, I'd be interested to get an industry point of view from Mohan.
Oh, let Mohan respond here. Yeah. He's saying it's not enough, it's not good enough.
Arnab, the fund was spoken about 4 years back. This year they announced in the budget, they're still not allocated the money. They set up an organization. By the time any money goes out, it'll be 2 or 3 years. That's not going to have impact in the next 3 to 5 years. What we need is an AI-based fund, a fund of funds started right now with 50,000 crores. They're not going to give away 50,000 crores in a month. It'll take 4 to 5 years. But they'll fund the funds, they'll fund the startups, and in 6 to 7 months' time, you'll see growth happening, more jobs happening.
Sell 'em.
And the flywheel will start up. We need that. We need capital. You know, we tried to set up a LLM company in India and tried to raise 100 million. We could not get money. Nobody's giving money. We went to the big enterprise, the big everything. Nobody gives. 100 million is peanuts in LLM. Nobody gives money. Please, we got to understand the problems in this country. There's not enough capital going into innovation. And that is the problem.
May I just ask you a very small question?
Yes, please.
Now,
yes.
You would like to see an AIF happen, and I buy your argument, which is the reason why I asked the question to you. Who's going to set up the AIF? The AIF has to come from private sources. No, it can't. It's
AIFs
not the government.
have been set up. They need capital.
Take many calls.
Professor, they need capital, Professor. Professor, in 2015, they set up a 10,000 crore startup fund. It catalyzed investment of 90,000 crores. We need a 50,000 crore fund to capitalize a 5 lakh crore investment.
But that's what I was talking about myself, my brother.
But that is a research fund. That's the research fund for university and others. That is a different fund. This is a different fund.
No, I agree with you. I know. The AIF idea would be different. This would be the objective would be to set up an AIF. I buy what you're saying.
Yes. Arnab, we need that immediately, Arnab. You must have an interview with Prime Minister and tell him this is a consensus in India. We need to invest in innovation. We need to have that fund. Please set it up. And then we will do many great things like the PLI. Look at the semiconductor industry. It's come up in 2 years. We're going to have a good industry. A lot of work is going on. Production has started. They've invested money. We need something like that in the innovation area for deep tech. We need deep tech. There are deep tech. Thousands of deep tech startups, very small. They're struggling. They need to grow. Give them money. Give them capital. China put $150 billion into AI in 7 years systematically.
Yes, but you can't spray paint that. You're going to have to decide which ones, which deep techs, which emerging technologies, within which time frame, funded by whom. Let's start a competitive process. But yes, let's open the doors. Let's create the right atmosphere and ambience.
Venture capitalist. Ajay will tell you. Ajay.
One more interesting point I want to add on.
Arnab, there are models.
30 seconds.
See, the important question here is it a boon or a bane? Any talent coming to the country is good, but what do we have to offer for them? Right? Okay, I lived abroad for many years, I worked in Europe. So maybe 50% of us came back, 50% stayed. Some of my friends who never wanted to go abroad did go abroad to Europe or US. Why? Because more than the money, it was the pathetic civil amenities in the country. How are the roads in Gurgaon? Do you have street lights there? What happens when it rains? The good people want to go for good quality of life. That is very pertinent. Any talent coming to the country is good, but is it good for them? Look at the quality of education anywhere in Europe, continental Europe, is same. Whether you make 3,000 euros a month or 10,000 euros a month or 20,000 euros a month. Here, the huge disparity.
Okay, we're running over time. Ajay, last word. Ajay, quickly, Ajay.
Arnab, I totally endorse what Mohan is saying. Singapore gives that example. I worked for Temasek. They set up in 65 GIC Temasek. Models are there. You have put $695 billion in zero yielding Japanese yen or US dollar or Europeans. Take out $10 billion from there. and seed a fund, seed the Temasek
Okay, I think
of
that
India.
on that point we have a complete consensus here.
overnight.
So yes, it's an idea worth taking, and as and when we have the opportunity, we'll certainly do that. Ladies and gentlemen, overwhelming consensus, it's an opportunity. The only question is how we capitalize on the opportunity and how ready we are. Ladies and gentlemen, without fail, see you at 8 p.m. sharp tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
ओए, मेरी गाड़ी ठोकेगा?
पर गलती तो आपकी है।
मेरी गलती? तू जानता है मेरा बाप कौन है?
ये देखो, पापा और गलती दोनों याद आ जाएंगे। अब देखा किसने सिग्नल तोड़ा?
Cubo dash cams. Get smart, get Cubo.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
इशारा समझ ले इशारा समझ ले हवा में फिजा में नजारों में इशारे संग हो जा तू मेरे इशारा समझ ले इशारा समझ ले
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
ये बड़ी गाड़ी वाले ऐसे ही रश चलाते हैं।
चुप! तुमने तो गाड़ी वालों को ही विलन बना दिया।
ये देखो,
Cubo dash cams. Get smart, get Cubo.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
MDH
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
Last night, someone broke into Ishan's room. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped him with a loud alarm and alerted the mom.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता. Tata AIG Health Insurance. With you like family. With you always.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला. सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप.
पैसा
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो.
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता. Tata AIG Health Insurance. With you like family. With you always.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम. रहो बेफिक्र.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला. Delicious, healthy, every day.
In the heart of the jungle roams the finest creature, and through the chaos of the sparkling city lights, I am reminded of the timeless valor of the majestic tiger. In life's wild journey, we have one shot to thrill.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, what's happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is massacre. The terror state is now targeting and killing its own people. And at 9 o'clock this evening, the face-off over Trump's new H1-B visa fee and whether it's a challenge or an opportunity for the global talent pool. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is at war with its own people. At least 30 people, all civilians, including women and children, were killed in a Pakistan Air Force strike which happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The attack happened around 2 a.m. and this is very surprising when fighter jets of the Pakistani Air Force dropped 8 LS-6 bombs, ladies and gentlemen, on Matre Dara village in Tirah Valley, resulting in a devastating massacre. Now, which country bombs its own people? You are seeing the visuals there. They are very disturbing. Disturbing pictures and videos of the incident shows bodies, including those of many children, lying all around. The war machinery was used against their own people. The bombs dropped by Pakistan Air Force's Chinese fighters, JF-17s, they are war bombs that have been dropped on defenseless people. The 8 LS-6 bombs that are dropped on civilians are actually Chinese-built precision-guided munitions named the Thunderstone Precision, used for air-to-ground combat. Ladies and gentlemen, their own Human Rights Commission is condemning the act of the Pakistan Armed Forces. Pakistan's own Human Rights Commission is criticizing this, demanding an immediate inquiry into the bombings. They are saying they are very concerned to learn that the Pakistan Air Force is killing Pakistani citizens and Pakistani children. This has never happened in any other country before, at least not in recent years. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, there is no geography under its sovereignty that Pakistan has left untouched by its brutality. You will remember Pakistani security forces have been attacking people near the Afghan border. Furthermore, there are reports of Pakistan forces now at war with their own people in South Waziristan. There are enforced disappearances, and all of us know exactly the situation in Balochistan. So this is a very interesting situation where Pakistan is carrying out absolutely a series of acts of oppression on their own people. Here are the pictures of what has happened, and then we'll debate this.
ये जो दहशत करती है, ये जो दहशत करती है,
It's not the security agency. It's one man, the army chief. There's no democracy in that in the army. The army is getting maligned by what is happening right now.
इस आदमी ने 2 दफा मुझे कत्ल करने की कोशिश की और जब भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी मैं ये साबित करूंगा कि ये वो आदमी था और इसके साथ एक पूरा टोला है.
An airstrike on its own. Pakistani Air Force's JF-17s dropped at least 8 LS-6 bombs on Matridara village in Pakistan-occupied Balochistan. Infant, young children and women slaughtered in their sleep. These shocking scenes are from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Tira Valley. In the aftermath of Pakistan's airstrike on its own civilians, their dead bodies scattered in the debris on the streets. Grief-struck villagers held a meeting to raise their voice and plan their next course of action. Discussions were held in Matridara village on how to register a protest and how to respond to the massacre carried out by the Pakistani armed forces. But Pakistani military and government remain completely silent, despite the pressure from international human rights groups for an investigation. Pakistan's armed forces' atrocities on its own citizens is no secret. Their track record has been dubious to say the least. During Operation Sindoor, Pakistan Army showed its true face, targeting civilians when India only targeted terrorists.
भारत की विशेषता आप देखो, उन सबों ने आकर आतंकवादियों ने हमारे देशवासियों को धर्म पूछ करवाया, लेकिन हम लोगों ने धर्म पूछकर अथवा किसी का धर्म देखकर नहीं मारा, बल्कि उनके कर्म को देखकर मारा.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister has time and again exposed its army.
It's not the security agency. It's one man, the army chief. There's no democracy in that in the army. The army is getting maligned by what is happening right now. And sadly, the events that happened when I was inside, I only found out afterwards. Because army is getting maligned because of one man. And one man is scared.
Pakistan's army is hand in glove with terrorists. No wonder Pakistan's army is now widely called as the terrorist army.
This ethnic cleansing that Pakistan is carrying out of its own citizens, I have General G.D. Bakshi, we have Tilak Deveshar, and very well-known activist from POJK, Dr. Amjad Ayub Mirza with us. We have Raja Faisal and Abdul Samad Yaqub. Abdul Samad Yaqub, this is an act of aggression on your own people. And the pictures are quite revealing. Most of the people who have been killed are women and children. The numbers conservatively are 30 people who have been killed, and some numbers are about 55. This happened in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Nobody is denying it, right? So is there any explanation that has been given by the Pakistan Air Force on why they have carried out this attack?
It is confirmed that there are some explosions and there are some casualties, but I am not certain that whether this attack was an air strike or through a drone attack. But the fact of the matter is, Imran Khan is consistently condemning these drones attacks. So it is believed that there are some drones which are being used to strike some areas of these tribal areas. So I'm not certain about this particular
what is the
incident,
intention here?
but
What is the intention
categorically condemn I would call it the act of aggression. Yes, on the name of collateral damage, because when you attack these innocent people, I mean, how can I justify these? I mean, we over party stance over Imran. My leader, who is a very adamant he has a consistent stance that there should be no military operations against on people. So, I mean, this must be investigated, or this must be probed, and this must be raised by the human activities and human rights organization.
So, Raja Faisal, it is still, he's talking about drones, but the popular belief and most of the reports which have come out are that the Pakistan Air Force used JF-17s to bomb the people out there. Now, do you use your Air Force like this on your own people? And what is the strategic target here? These are Pakistani citizens who have been killed.
Arnab, obviously, when we talk about what kind of attack it was, of course, on the basis of intelligence which was gathered from the ground, and this activity.
Intelligence what? These are all children who have been killed.
Can you please finish? Let me finish. As of now,
the pictures I have are of children mostly.
As of now, the reports are that Air Force hasn't been used. When we talk about the drones, yes, drones has been used. Normally, they are being used because this is the bordering area, and this bordering area, of course, there are TTP that happen to be your assets, that happen to be your proxies. They are waging a war against Pakistan.
How are they our assets?
And that's why.
How are they our assets? As Donald Trump, the feeling is that Trump has told you to do this because of his designs on Bagram, so he wants to.
ISKP, all of them, they are proxies of India, and of course they are fighting against Pakistan's military, they are fighting against Pakistan, and Pakistan is repelling them.
Amjad Ayub, please. Amjad Ayub,
please. When it comes to these
kinds of attacks, it amazes me that these people have no respect for coming on a media of the world's largest democracy, and then they start lying, and they think that the Indian audience is stupid. They think we are stupid. People not watching Arnab Goswami are stupid. The most popular show in the whole of the subcontinent, watched by Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and India.
From India,
and you come here to lie. Now let me put
Arnab, I would not like to talk with this kind of character.
Now,
can you please put me?
Why should he not be able to? 1 minute. Would you please,
I don't want to talk to this.
Raja, louder, both of them.
Aircraft was involved.
Louder, I can't hear.
Laser guided glide bombs were used. It was under the guidance coming from Chinese satellite assistance. Wohi Chinese satellites that
you
were used.
are reading from a paper which has been handed over to you by Raw.
Okay, just be quiet.
You are reading from a paper.
You spoke. You can speak when your turn comes.
It has been handed over to you by Raw.
Now,
because you are a Raw spook. You are a Bollywood
presence in the area. There is no TTP presence in the area. I have spoken to people on the ground.
Raw's asset.
They have sent me a message.
मैंने
उनको बताया, मैंने कहा मैं अर्नाब जी के शो पे जा रहा हूँ, आप कोई मैसेज देना चाहते हैं तो मैं वहां दे दूंगा। उन्होंने ये मैसेज दिया है, उन्होंने कहा है कि हमें भारत से मोहब्बत है। दिस इज कमिंग फ्रॉम तेरा जहां पे बम मारे हैं, हमें भारत से मोहब्बत है, नफरत नहीं, क्योंकि वहां भी मुस्लिम रहते हैं। हिंदुस्तान की हुकूमत या प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने तो कभी इन्हें नहीं कहा, कभी नहीं किया कि उनको मारे या कत्ल करे। प्लीज हमारे पर नजरसानी करें और बलोचों के लिए और हम पश्तूनों के लिए आवाज उठाएं और पॉज दे के उन्होंने कहा और एक एहसान करें। फिर उन्होंने सवाल किया कि डॉक्टर साहब ये जंग में जायज है कि मासूम बच्चों और औरतों को मारा जाए? ये कौन सी जंग का असूल है? ये जंग नहीं, हमारी नस्ल कुशी है. This is ethnic cleansing of the Pashtun. Because they have got oil now. They have
Who
got
is he? Arnab, who is he? I want to know about this guy.
Forget who he is. One minute, just one minute. एक मिनट, अमजद साहब, ये हमें पूछ रहे हैं. एक मिनट, जरा शांत हो जाए सब लोग. ये एक अमजद साहब, डॉक्टर अमजद साहब, आपने बहुत सही बात कही कि जिस नेटवर्क पे आप है, रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क, ये भारत का सबसे बड़ा न्यूज़ नेटवर्क है. आपको जान के खुशी होगी अमजद साहब कि 50 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोग, यानी कि 500 मिलियन प्लस लोग इस चैनल को रेगुलरली देखते हैं. और इसे क्यों देखते हैं? क्योंकि आप जैसे लोग आके सच्चाई दिखाते हैं, आईना दिखाते हैं ऐसे लोगों को. राजा फैजल जी जो सिर्फ ISI के एक क्या कहे जाए पपेट है. अब मैं मेरी बात सुने. हामिद जी भी हमारे साथ हैं और हमारे साथ तिलक देवेश्वर, जनरल GD बख्शी भी है. देखिए, दिस इज सीरियस मैटर. वी आर नॉट टेकिंग अ position because of no reason, right, General Bakshi? We are saying here that Chinese JF-17s use की गई है, and the logical reason is because when I checked, the forensics on the ground and admitted reports from Pakistan are saying that LS-6 bombs have been used. General Bakshi, please note, 8 LS-6 bombs have been used. These are Chinese-built PGMs, यानी कि precision guided munitions. इसको थंडर स्टोन प्रेसिशन कहा जाता है. दिस इज यूज्ड फॉर सीरियस हाई लेवल एयर टू ग्राउंड कॉम्बैट. सो व्हाटएवर हैपेंड हियर, द पाकिस्तानी
information you are using that is widely available on open source.
It is not open source, it is published in all your Pakistani media.
ChatGPT to gather all of this information, and you're trying to make it look like the ground.
Do you deny this happened? Do you have the guts to deny this happened?
What kind of ground report?
Do you deny this happened? Are you denying this happened? Are you denying this happened?
It means that your assets, it means that your proxy was there where Pakistan's drones were conducting this air raid.
Okay. Assume General Bakshi has to come in and General Bakshi and Tilak Deveshwar have to come in. Listen.
देखो कौन बैठा है यार.
देखिए, even one minute, just one minute. Even if you say my proxies were there, Raw was there, we are, monitoring what happened. You can't deny this has happened, and we are not asking you. You have been killing people. You know how many people you've killed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa? Sir, 938 civilians, including 168 infants, have been killed by you, shameless people.
Not at all.
What do you mean, not at all?
Ashamed of itself. India should be ashamed of itself because India is the biggest exporter of terrorism in this world.
Don't give me lines.
India
General
is
Bakshi,
exporting terrorism, and this
General
is not
Bakshi,
only
the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has called this a severe act of tyranny and oppression.
CIA's director, go and listen.
Raja Faisal, you need to pipe down.
General Bakshi.
Yeah, I can listen.
Just
to
cut your.
General Bakshi, I think I've heard too much from this man.
This is shameless massacre of innocents. Listen to me now. This is a shameless massacre of innocents. You send in your JF-17s, 8 LS-6 laser-guided, precision-guided munitions. You fire on a defenseless village of civilians. You kill women and children. You know, Arnab, what is the problem? The Punjabi army has a colonial mindset. All the other states of Pakistan, whether Sindh, whether Baluchistan, whether Pashtunkhwa, they are treated as colonies. They are treated as slave people. This is the mindset with which they attacked the people of Bangladesh in 1971. Shut your trap up! Shameless chap. Shut your trap up! I'm telling you, Arnab, in Bangladesh, they killed 3 million Bangladeshi citizens. They raped 1 million women.
Yes,
and they pushed out as refugees 10 billion Bangladeshis. That was the beginning of the end of Pakistan. 13 days it took us to break them into two. Thereafter, the people had risen up in revolt. Your biggest fault line is the Punjabi Pashtun fault
in
line.
1971.
Your biggest fault
Mufti
line
was your
is the
proxy,
Punjabi
and now
Pashtun fault
TTP
line.
is your proxy.
The Baluch have been putting
are
up
running
a
proxies.
very brave
You
fight
are
against you.
exporting terrorism.
But
And we
they are
fighting
very
against
small
that
in
terrorism.
numbers.
Not since now.
The biggest
We have been
ethnic
fighting since
minority
more
in
than 20 years.
Pakistan are the Pashtuns. You are now killing their women and children. And you think they are going to lump it? The people of this
Pakistan
particular
is just
village
fighting against
have
the
said
terrorism which is
that
being
they will
infested
take the
by
bodies
India.
of the men, they
We
will
are
bury the
not
women and the children.
against any
But they will
ethnicity.
take the bodies of the
whole
men
Pakistan
and
is
lay them
Pashtun,
in front
the whole
of the
Pakistan is
Corps
Punjabi,
Commander's
the whole
house.
Pakistan is Baloch, the whole
The
Pakistan
Corps
is
Commander's
Sindhi.
house. ये आप देखेंगे कल होता हुआ. ठीक है? And the simple fact is Donald Trump wants the Bagram Air
This is
Base.
what you want. I
So
remember the
he's
day.
ordered you, he's ordered that Mullah Asim Munir of yours to start slaughtering the Pashtuns, both sides of the border, to send a message to the people of Afghanistan. Ki give us Bagram or else your women and children will die.
I think
You know, you
I think that's the key point, General Bakshi.
F-16s to bomb 2 villages in Afghanistan.
Sir, I think-
52 women and children were slaughtered.
Yeah.
52! What do you think is going on, man? There is no rule of law left in this world. There are no human rights. You
General
are
Saab, I think the
guilty
world knows
of
about what's
genocide.
going on, right?
No,
Genocide.
I think
All that bloody
World knows
election.
about what's
See,
going on.
Raja, don't protest too much. Listen to me. Raja, listen to me. Raja Faisal, listen to me. Please calm down, everyone. This is happening, Tilak Deveshwar, in the immediate aftermath of Trump making 4 statements demanding that he be given the Bagram Air Base. Immediately after that, you had the Taliban rejecting, saying, perish the thought, we won't give a meter of our land. After that, the Pakistan Air Force carries out this attack. Do you think that these attacks are prompted by America's designs on the Bagram Air Base and are aimed, actually prove that Pakistan has become a stronger proxy of America?
Thank you, Arnab. Let's leave aside Bagram for the minute. Must also remember that General Asim Munir is currently in the US. And it has been a tradition that whenever the senior park leader, whenever Musharraf used to go, they take a present or a gift for the Americans. And in this case, I have a feeling that Munir wanted to present that they have taken big action against the ISKP or the TTP terrorists and present this as counter-terror cooperation with the United States. Unfortunately, their intelligence or their shooting is so bad that instead of ISKP terrorists, they have killed 30 innocent women and children. They had done that earlier in March. There was a drone attack in Mardan where civilians died. They did it in June when there was again another Air Force attack in Waziristan where again civilians were killed. And now again in the Tira Valley. So this is, I think, geared also to bolster the visit of Asim Munir to the United States. And secondly, let me also say that recently there were reports 2 days ago that the Jaish and Hizbul Mujahideen were shifting their camps to close to the Pak-Afghan border because of the pasting they got during Operation Sindoor. Now, this could also be an effort to create space for the Jaish and the Hizbul Mujahideen to set up their camps in these areas by getting rid of the civilians.
Tilak Saab, have you ever visited the places you're talking about? Have you ever visited the bordering area of Pakistan or Afghanistan?
I don't need
You
to.
have no
He doesn't
clue
need to.
You have no clue what you're talking about.
Why should I even tell you that?
And you're talking about Bagram. Let's not talk about Bagram. Let's first talk about Farkhor Air Base. Farkhor Air Base is the place from where you're facilitating this terrorism.
Listen, Raja, if you asked a question to Tilak Deveshwar, let him respond to you. Don't repeat yourself like a mannerless man.
Indian military is using Farkhor to propagate, promote, and facilitate terrorism in Afghanistan and on the bordering area of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And this is the actual menace in the region.
Okay, now
India
you are,
is the
one minute. Now you put a semicolon on what you're saying. 1 minute. Amjad Ayub is also on the debate. Yes, Dr. Amjad Ayub.
Let me say something, Arnab, then there is no point for me.
No, I'm
sitting.
coming
If
to you.
keep going
Hamid, just give me a moment.
If you keep going to...
No, Hamid, I'm saying to you, Hamid,
who's sitting on the
I'm
hot
coming to
chair
you, but
now,
let me make a point to you, Hamid,
go
so you
there.
don't feel bad about it. You are presenting Donald Trump pictures of dead Pakistani children, and you are going with pictures of dead Pakistani children, Donald Trump, saying we have killed Pakistani children, Lord and Master Trump, we hope that you are happy. Idhar Abdul Samad Yaqub hai. Abdul Samad Yaqub is here. Just one minute, just one minute. Hamid, don't complain too much. Do you feel good that when your army chief की कोई हिम्मत नहीं है, कोई औकात नहीं है, वो किसी बच्चे को मार रहे हैं और उसके फोटो जेके व्हाइट हाउस को दिखा रहे हैं कि आप खुश हो जाएं? आपको बगराम नहीं मिला मगर हमने पाकिस्तानी बच्चों को मारा।
झूठी कहानियों से बात नहीं
आपकी
बननी
पाकिस्तान की खुद की ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन कह रही है, मैं नहीं कह रहा। याकूब साहब, ये फिक्शन नहीं है, इनको बता दें। हर चीज पे सवालिया निशान उठाते हैं, सवाल उठा रहे हैं मेरे पे।
You must feel ashamed when you talk about human rights. What India is doing with Muslims, what India is doing lynching Muslims, what India is doing in Kashmir, what India is doing in Assam, what India is doing with Khalistan, what India is doing. You should be ashamed by
इंडिया को छोड़ दें आप, इंडिया को छोड़ दो, ये चूरन अब नहीं बिकता आपका। इंडिया इमरान खान भी इंडिया का एजेंट है।
The biggest
इमरान खान इंडिया का एजेंट है।
India right now.
इमाम मजारी इंडिया की एजेंट है।
General Bakshi.
That is one simple.
General Bakshi and Raja Faisal. 1 minute. Raja and General Bakshi. Can you forget India for a moment? We are all concerned today, and there are 17 different newspaper reports which have come out, General Bakshi. People in Pakistan don't know how to explain this to their own people. Yet Indian TV channel pe aake putting a brave face is something else to it. But the fact is, General Bakshi, this is going to lead to a response. Are people going to remain quiet given how many children and women have been killed? Do they not know it is the Pakistani army which has killed them? The situation is already tense out there. What do you think will be the social impact of what has happened, General Bakshi? And will that have impact on the way the Pakistan army is treated? The Pakistani military has to respond to the people. You can't keep shooting from the sky all the time. You'll have to deal with the anger of the people. General Bakshi, can you war game this for us?
You know, Arnab, 8 LS-6 glide toss bombs.
Yes, sir.
Laser guided onto one small Pashtun village. I don't believe that the casualties are going to be just 30, Arnab. Just wait and watch. The truth will come out. They have slaughtered innocents. They have killed women and children.
My point is same, General Saab.
You know,
I just want to know
this is a horrific crime. This is... Look, sir, I kept my mouth shut while you were talking.
1 minute, he listens to your Raja now. General Bakshi will be really angry. You let him speak.
That way, at least I can hear you.
When you are misrepresenting the facts.
Now, you know, Arnab, what I was trying to say was that Pakistan is massacring its own Pashtun population. It is sowing the whirlwind. It will reap the whirlwind. The village elders have decided that they will bury the women and children, but they will take all the men's dead bodies and lay them out in front of them.
I just have the visuals coming in of the meeting between Marco Rubio.
Because your proxies are sitting there. And we are dealing with them.
All right, you can yell and scream.
Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen are visuals of Marco Rubio and Foreign Minister Jaishankar having their meetings in Washington. These are live images that have just come in. And I think what is important to put in context and for the Pakistanis to realize here, that they are getting too excited. They are too eager to please the Americans. Americans are using them like a private army, aren't they? Tilak Deveshwar. I mean, the strategic relationship with India is very much intact. And Pakistan is being used like a small private force to deal with a few skirmishes with the Afghans as a pressure group. So the Pakistanis go running one day to Saudi. We will use our army for you. You know, shame on you, Raja. You are killing your people and then you are going to the Saudis saying, we will give you our nuclear bomb. Itne bikao hain aap. आपकी कोई
India
इज्जत
should
नहीं
be
है.
ashamed of itself.
You're a
During
Bikau army.
1925 war, it was India that actually went
Hey,
to,
going
it
crying
kept
to the
on calling
Saudis.
Washington, save us from Pakistan. It was shouting out loud. They were ringing them. They were ringing
Very
them.
sad.
Please save us. Please spare us from these people.
Anyway,
because
Raja.
they are sending in missiles.
Tilak
now.
Deveshwar
And we
is
don't-
responding.
we don't know
Tilak,
how
you want to put him in his place. He's been crying for too long and a bit too
You
loud.
see, in the last 70 years, 3 times
And you
the
telling
US has used Pakistan 3 times. Under Ayub, under Zia, and under Musharraf.
Correct.
Now Pakistan is dying for the 4th time when they can be of use to the United States to be used and thrown away as tissue paper, literally.
India tried to use.
The US has got
India
no
was
interest
trying
in
to use.
Pakistan.
US
It doesn't have
was
any
trying to
economic
use
interest.
India against China.
Pakistan has no
It doesn't
intellectual
work.
capital which can be used.
Reason
It
being,
is just
forget about China.
think
You
that they
can't
can be
even
useful
fight
to the
a
United
country like
States,
Pakistan.
whether it is
Pakistan,
Iran
India
or
is
whether it is
5
Afghanistan.
times bigger than
And
Pakistan.
if Pakistan
You
makes the
can't do
fatal
anything
error
against Pakistan.
of trying
And now
to
US doesn't
support
want
the
to use you
US
at all.
in its
Reason
actions
being,
against
you
Iran,
played as if
there
you
will
can
be a
used
massive
by-
civil war
can be used
in
by
Pakistan
US.
itself.
They are
So today
considering
Pakistan may
you
think
having no
that just
work
because
ethic. Now
President
you are
Trump
worthless.
called Asim Munir
Now
for
you are
lunch,
worthless. They don't
and
even
by
want
the
to
way, if you
talk
saw
to
the
you.
visuals of that
They
lunch,
are taking you to
Asim
cleaners.
Munir had to walk.
They are diplomatically
Because his
taking you to
limousine
the
didn't go up
cleaners
to the port,
because
he
you're
had to
worthless.
walk. And you could see how uncomfortable he felt.
And
So
now
this
you
is a
talk
very,
about
very
Pakistan
short-lived
has been
alliance
used. Go
because
and
it
ask
has
the
no
Americans.
basis,
Go
it
and
has
ask the
no
Americans.
substance,
Till date,
and as
till
soon as
date,
President
they
Trump
keep
turns
on
his
claiming
attention away,
that the biggest
Pakistan
threat
is going to
them is
fall flat
Pakistan.
on its face.
Okay, 1 minute. In the middle of all this, we had a cricket match yesterday. Pakistan, such losers, losing all the time. They just keep losing. They can't do anything right. I'm against playing cricket with Pakistan. It's pointless. But these Pakistanis keep coming, and then they behaved like fools. It was never about cricket. Anyway, it was about a terror state, ladies and gentlemen, bowling and batting at the very nation it has repeatedly targeted with terror. I've stood firm on this since the very beginning. This match should not have taken place. And yesterday, it proved it right. Because the Pakistani players crossed all limits. They lose the war and then they think they are firing with their bats. This fool, Sahibzada Farhan, held his bat like a gun. Haris Rauf mimicked a fighter jet crash and flashed a so-called 06. At the end of the day, these idiots ended up losing. A country of losers. Just a lot of drama and complete filth. Hamid, what was this? You saw this, General Bakshi, yesterday? This game shouldn't have been played, but they were making an ass of themselves.
Look,
yesterday, General Bakshi,
India-
did you see they were making a complete ass of themselves? Aur uske baad haar jana, General Bakshi. After that, to lose again. Losers.
It is okay.
Losers.
Arnab,
General Bakshi.
India,
General Bakshi, General Bakshi.
Arnab,
No, I'm not.
this-
I'm talking to General Bakshi.
This
I'm not even
stupid
listening.
match, this stupid match should not have been played. These are a disgusting set of people, murderers, looters, and they are now taken to bombing their Pashtun population as they were doing in Bangladesh. They are going to repeat Bangladesh very soon. Their last moments are nigh. The end of this country is nigh. Their Pakistan army chief has become the trader-in-chief, trying to sell the oil of Baluchistan, trying to sell the gold, tungsten, copper and rare earths, which have still not been found, to arch-trader Donald Trump. He thinks he will please him by opening his Munir and Sons, trading company. He's opened a bloody trading company. He can't decide whether he's an army chief or a trader-in-chief, right? This man wants to be president of Pakistan. My God. My God. I pity your country. Raja, frankly, my condolences in advance to you. You are heading for trouble, self-invited. You have taken to killing women and children. आपको आह लगेगी. आप समझे राजा साहब? आपको औरतों और बच्चों की पख्तून औरतों और बच्चों की आह लगेगी तुमको. आह लगेगी. एक बॉम्ब नहीं 8 बॉम्ब गिराए हैं यार. वो गांव में तबाही कर दी है तुमने. ये कोई तरीका है लड़ने का? हमने भी काउंटर इंसर्जेंसी लड़ी है साहब. हमने कभी अपनी राइफल के ऊपर नहीं गए. राइफल और स्टैन मशीन कार्बाइन. ठीक है,
आप मुझे जवाब
आप
देने
तो
देंगे?
तोहफे चलवाते हो गांव के ऊपर, आप F-16 तैयारे भेजते हो। आज आपने 8 बॉम्ब गिराए हैं, 8 लेजर गाइडेड बॉम्ब ऑन वन पुअर पख्तून विलेज।
नहीं, ये
वो तुमको आ लगेगी, वो जो औरतें बच्चे मरे हैं ना, उनकी आ लगेगी तुमको। तुम्हारा मुल्क नहीं रहेगा, तुम्हारे आखिरी दिन आ गए हैं। मेरे तुम बात गिटान बांध के रख लो।
अच्छा जी,
गिटान बांध के रख ले राजा फैसल, तुमको उन औरतों बच्चों की आह लगेगी।
जना साहब, पिछले 10 साल से ना मैं आपके साथ प्रोग्राम कर रहा हूँ। अब 10 साल से आप रोजाना पाकिस्तान को तोड़ते हैं, रोजाना हम आपको शर्मिंदा करते हैं, रोजाना हम मजीद स्ट्रांग होके आगे आते हैं। हमें तनहा करते करते इंडिया आज दुनिया में अकेला है। इंडिया आज खुद अपने ही पिछाए हुए
ये ड्रामा क्या चल रहा था कल क्रिकेट मैच का? नहीं, ये ड्रामा क्या? हामिद, ये सब बातें छोड़िए, जस्ट एक्सप्लेन टू मी। हामिद लिसन, Hamid listen to me. Hamid listen to me. I want to ask you a question, and this question is to Raja Faisal. Answer from Samarpal Tur. I am coming to you. When you, I'm explaining. See, Raja, when we fired at you and we threw the Brahmos, you were behaving like you're playing cricket. When you're playing cricket, you are behaving like you're fighting a war. When you were supposed to fight a war, you could not fight. When you are supposed to play cricket, you lose. हाँ समर, कुछ भी नहीं आता इन लोगों को. Samarpal Tur, fire away at that man.
Good evening to all the panelists. Good evening to all the panelists. And जो भी मुझे interrupt करेगा, वो he will be a son of a prisoner of war. So please don't prove that you are son of a 93,000 वो जो prisoner of war थे. Don't prove yourself. First listen to me. पहली चीज तो तुम अपने ही अवाम के लोगों का कत्लेआम कर रहे हो। लाउडर उसकी तुम्हें शर्म है नहीं कि तुम अपने ही लोगों पे बमबारी कर रहे हो।
It's just cricket. Maybe we are not good at cricket, but when it comes to war, of course we know how to fight a war.
Yes, this is your sportsman spirit.
Samar, louder.
Is this your sports? This is jihadism. ये है तुम्हारा दंगीपना. This is what you are. ये जो तुम वेटर वाली हरकतें कर रहे हो ना, ऐसे ये तुम्हें शोभा नहीं देता है. Accept the fact कि ये तुमने जिहादी पाल के रखे हैं. वो हरकतें देखो. ये mature adult. अरे टीवी पे विजुअल्स देखो. क्या ये एक mature adult है?
You take blurring please of the children. Please take away the blurring. Let's show. Contrast करो इनको.
He was ringing.
Take away the blurring.
In Washington. वो वहाँ पे कॉलिंग करके कह रहे थे इनसे जान छुड़ाओ हमारी. इनको मैं मार
Raja, listen to me. Raja, Deepak Vora is with us today. Samar, just 1 minute. I'm adjusting your audio. There's a slight problem with your audio. There are two visuals, Deepak Vora, which are in my minds. And General Bakshi is here, the great General Bakshi. We've been talking about it. On the one side, you have these idiots. First of all, I am asking a question, viewers. This stupidity which happened yesterday on the cricket field, does it prove what I said कि मैच होना ही नहीं चाहिए था? मैं और जनरल बख्शी पिछले पता नहीं कितने दिनों से यही बोल रहे हैं ना जनरल बख्शी. हमें कहा जाता है आप राइट विंगर हो जनरल बख्शी, बट ये एंड आई आर सेइंग ये मैच तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए था. I don't want the blurred images, I'll carry the images. Now the question is, yeah, that's all right. Can you remove this on screen? First of all, the match should not have happened. The second point is, now that the match has happened, they have behaved in this disgraceful way.
What about the behavior of Indian
Arey,
cricketers?
keep quiet, yeah, behavior of Indians. We have beaten you, know. थप्पड़ मार दिया आपको field पे, अभी भी रो रहे हो.
No sportsmanship.
We slapped you black and blue on the field, damn it.
Game है, दो टीमें उतरती हैं.
अरे game है तो game की तरह करो ना, ये क्या है? अपना ऐसे गन ऐसे करके क्या है?
उनको भी
ये game है.
इज्जत एहतराम रखना चाहिए ना. गेम की भी तो कोई इज्जत एहतराम होती है, आप में कोई शर्म हया नहीं।
Samar, your audio is not good. Producers are messing up. I'm only speaking about the cricket right now. I'll take those visuals later. Thank you. Take away those visuals. I am talking. Clean up the screen. Damn it, Aditi, please now. I'm speaking to Deepak Vora and Raja Faisal. I want my screen cleaned up because visual references are not appropriate now. Question is, Deepak Vora, this cricket match is becoming a disgrace. Pehle, we should not dignify the field by staying in the same field with these people. I appeal to the BCCI even today, leave this Asia Cup type of matches. But what is this behavior? They are saying that we know how to, this is cricketing conduct. Deepak Vora, I think you can give it to them in your own inimitable and absolutely direct style, sir.
Well, all right, sir. Thank you very much. As always, a pleasure. I'm far away. I wish I'd go in the studio with you to imbibe some of your energy, but thank you very much, sir. Sir, what was their angst at the end of the match that our captain didn't shake hands? Look at the gesture of this man. Sir, has jihadism percolated down to the lowest level in your country? Is this the kind of gesture you make on a cricket field, sir? Or on any playing field?
We are showing these bats to a country that
Sir, please, may I complete what I'm saying, sir? May I complete what I'm saying, sir? Is this the kind of gesture that you do on a playing field, sir? Has jihad penetrated, has jihad ruined your DNA, sir? Why don't you understand, sir? This image that you are showing is traveling around the world, sir. And people are going to laugh at you, sir. As it is, I've had so many messages saying, why did you play with these jihadis, sir? Sir, do you mind keeping quiet, sir? I don't know what charges you are taking, but you should keep quiet, sir. Listen to what I'm saying. Sir, do you justify this gesture? Do you justify this gesture, sir? Do you justify this gesture, sir? I'm only asking you a simple question.
Fighting against Pakistan, they ran away.
Sir? Do you justify this, sir? Sir, you are a liar. You don't want to answer my question.
Louder.
You are a cheat. You are a thug, sir. That's what I would like to say. Why don't you tell me, do you justify this? Sir, you are a liar, sir. You don't answer straight. Do you justify this gesture, sir? Sir, he won't answer my question. Why don't you turn off his microphone so that I ask
No, he's been in this slightly psychotic state for the last half an hour.
He's not going to listen, so he
I
won't
think he
answer
sees
my question. My
Baluchistan
question
in
is
his
very
dreams.
simple. How do you justify this gesture, sir? General Bakshi has told you, Major Tur Saab has said, others in Pakistan. How do you justify this on a playing field, sir? Is it a cricket match or is it jihad for you, sir?
I just, Raja, listen to me. I want Raja's face on air while I show these two pictures. Raja, just first be quiet. Can you expand the visuals on the screen? Viewers, these are the two images, and this is the situation of Pakistan. These are the Pakistani children who have been killed by the Pakistan Air Force and the Pakistan military. These are their images. The parents are lifting the veil, and you can see there, Raja Faisal, these are all the people you have killed.
Viewers,
you have killed to satisfy the bloodthirsty nature of Donald Trump. And on the other hand, you are doing drama on the cricketing field. You're a loser nation with no morality in your heart, no feeling about the number of people you've killed. You know, and what has he done? He scored a 50. He's behaving as if he's conquered the world or given Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize.
This is what the reality is.
General Bakshi. Now, I want to bring in before General Bakshi, Abdul Samad Yaqub. याकूब जी, क्या है आपके कंट्री में, क्या हो रहा है? ऐसे बच्चों को मार रहे हैं, आप देख रहे हैं विजुअल्स. आप बताइए मुझे, टेल राजा फैसल, व्हाट इज दिस बिहेवियर इन अ क्रिकेट मैच? नो सर, व्हाट इज दिस सर?
देखें, दो इमेजेस, दो विजुअल्स जो आप दिखा रहे हैं, भले आप किसी को एलिश करें, राजा साहब कहेंगे जी वो टीटीपी प्रॉक्सीज हैं, लेकिन राजा साहब कम से कम ये जो मासूम बच्चे हैं, इनको आप कंडेम तो करें, इनको आप इस एक्ट को, आप इनके साथ कोई हमदर्दी तो शो करें. अगर ये गजा के होते तो आप यहाँ पे बोल रहे होते, लेकिन अगर ये मारे गए कोलेटरल डैमेज था या कुछ भी था, आप अफसोस का इजहार तो करें. जस्टिफिकेशन तो वो तो चले, ठीक है भाई, आप कर रहे हैं टीटीपी प्रॉक्सीज या उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है, वो एक अलग बात है. लेकिन इनको, और दूसरी बात ये कि ये जो दूसरे विजुअल्स हैं, ये क्रिकेट के हवाले से जो विजुअल्स आ रहे हैं, जब मैट्रोक्रेसी ये हो कि चेयरमैन पीसीबी को पता हो कि जी वो इसलिए बना है कि वो किसी का रिश्तेदार था, तो इन्होंने भी ये कलाशनकोफ होंगे वो दिखाने हैं और वो बनाना है कि जी हमें भी नेक्स्ट टाइम इसलिए सेलेक्ट किया जाएगा कि हम ये जस्टिस शो कर रहे थे। तो ये कोई क्रिकेट नहीं रही। आई मीन जो बेड़ा गर्क क्रिकेट का इन्होंने कर दिया हुआ है चेयरमैन पीसीबी ने, वो यही हाल होना है कि ये इस तरह की नौटंकियां करके शायद अगली बार सिलेक्ट हो जाए। अदरवाइज ये मेरिट पे सिलेक्ट होने वाले लोग नहीं है। इस तरह की हरकतों को, ये जोकर्स टाइप कोई प्लेयर्स हैं, मैं इसको जस्टिफाई नहीं कर सकता। दूसरे पे मैं बिल्कुल इंतहाई अफसोसनाक कि जो टीवी पे चलाए नहीं जा सकते क्लिप्स, उस पे तो हामिद को भी चाहिए था कि वो आके इसको कंडेम करता।
Why is Asif Munir quiet on this, General Bakshi? General Bakshi is replacing me on screen right now with the two gentlemen there with the visual. Why is Asif Munir quiet on this? Why is the Pakistan Air Force chief quiet? Why can't they say that maybe we got our ground intelligence wrong, maybe we did not want to kill the children, but we killed the children? Unless this was their intention, General Bakshi. Maybe their intention is to carry out a senseless carnage on the ground.
Arnab,
no, not at all.
Arnab, in the army that I had the privilege to serve, people who ordered this would have been court-martialed. It's as simple as that. We were taught to use the greatest amount of restraint when dealing with our own misguided people. I don't know, Raja. I hope you are you're also the father, and I don't know if you read the grandfather stage like me. Have you seen? Before you grin like a jackass, have you seen the faces of those Afghan children?
Can you say that
तूने वो देखे हैं चेहरे?
I mean, I know what kind of training.
तूने चेहरे देखे हैं? ये देख. अबे ये देख, बकवास नहीं कर. ये देख ये मार के तू सूरमा बन रहा है. ये बच्चे मार के पश्तून बेचारे, तू सूरमा बन रहा है क्या? तेरी फौज का ये मुल्ला मुनीर सूरमा बन रहा है. अबे तू लड़के दिखाना था तूने जब ये मरियम बंकर में घुसा हुआ था. ये बच्चे मार रहा है यार. अरे यार कोई शर्म कर ले, कोई शर्म कर ले, कोई हया कर ले. इंसानियत नाम की भी कोई चीज होती है मियां. इंसानियत नाम की कोई चीज होती है. मेरी फौज में कोर्ट मार्शल हो जाता. जिस फौज में मैंने इज्जत से नौकरी की थी, तुम करके देखते ऐसा. तुम करके देखते ऐसा. तुम लोगों ने बांग्लादेश में यू गॉट अवे, यू थॉट. 2 टुकड़े हो गए थे मुल्क के. बड़ा सिर पे चढ़ रहे थे, भगड़े कर रहे थे, मार डाले, बंगाली मार डाले, और तो कोई नस्ल बदली कर दी. 2 टुकड़े हो गए थे तेरे मुल्क के. 2 टुकड़े तेरे मुल्क के हो गए कि आप हमेशा पीछे से बाहर करते हो. अरे मेरे भाई, तू ये औरतें बच्चे देख, तू औरतें बच्चे देख, बकवास करे जा रहा है.
करने के आदी है.
अबे तेरे को शर्म नहीं है क्या?
आपको पता चल गया कि यहाँ
कोई एक कतरा इंसानियत का है. देख इसको. अबे इसको देख.
आप हमारे वेस्टर्न फ्रंट पे जाके करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
इसको देख.
आपको शर्म करने की जरूरत है.
तू इसको देख, इसको देख. अरे तुमको ये जो है ना, इन बच्चों की माँ की आह लगेगी.
मुझे इस चीज पे अफसोस है.
आह लगेगी तुमको.
आपकी
ऐसे नीच लोग, ऐसे नीच हरकतें करते मेरी फौज में करके देखी होती, तेरा कोर्ट मार्शल सड़ रहा होता जेल के अंदर.
These images are your beginning of your downfall.
शर्म नहीं आई.
These images haunt you in the UN General Assembly. These images will haunt you all around the world. All human rights groups, NGOs are now going to get after you. And it shows the indoctrination of the youth of Pakistan. ये जो पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेटर जो हथियार का इशारा कर रहे हैं, जो नौजवान और बच्चों के लिए मिसाल बननी चाहिए कि एक अच्छा स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन क्या होता है, एक अच्छे रिश्ते कैसे निभाने होते हैं. तुम ऐसे अच्छे रिश्ते ऐसे निभाओगे, ऐसे गंदे इशारे करके निभाओगे.
पहले अपनी मंजी थले डांग फेर ले. अपनी मंजी थले पहले डांग फेर ले.
मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ एक गल क्लियर कर दवा. ਤੁਸੀਂ सऊदी अरब दे दम ते ना छाना मारो. बहुत महंगा पेड़ है. चाइना दे कोई नहीं सीखा. चाइना में नहीं छੱਡੂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ. 2025 ਵਿੱਚ ਟੁੰਨ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ. ਟੁੰਨ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ. ਚਾਈਨਾ You will have to pay through your nose. आपको ये कर्जा आपकी साथ पुश्ते गंजी पैदा होंगी तो भी पैसा नहीं दे पाओगे. तुम्हारी सातों पुश्ते गंजी पैदा होंगी तो भी तुम चीन का पैसा वापस नहीं उठा पाओगे राजा फैसल. और तुम्हारी 10 नस्लें शायर पैदा होंगी, तुम्हारी 10 नस्लें बुज़दिल पैदा होंगी, बच्चे भी यही हरकतें कर रहे होंगे. 10 नस्लें रोने वाली पैदा होंगी. Children to the madrasa to learn this kind of cricket.
Anyway, I think the moment is this, Deepak Vora. You've seen this. The fact is the reality of Pakistan cannot be hidden by their antics on the field. These images are a turning point. Everybody watching this, Deepak Vora is saying, जो इन्होंने किया है, जैसे बच्चों को मारा है, औरतों को मारा है, प्रूफ पूरे पाकिस्तान में आज. All of Pakistan is asking the Pakistani army the questions. Why did you do this? Why did you kill so many children today? What will we say to the whole world? Deepak Vora.
I have my own group in which there are several ambassadors, journalists, diplomats, professionals and others, military officers. One of the Pashtun ambassadors, a Pashtun, has posted on our group, we intend to raise this in the UN General Assembly. We are going to demonstrate against the Pakistani Prime Minister and the army chief.
We must support them in every way.
आप बीच में ना बोलें सर. मैंने नहीं बोला था जब आप बोल रहे थे सर. So let me explain to you, sir. You are going to have a lot of problems. It might be better for your leadership not to go to the UN General Assembly because you are going to face a lot of embarrassment. ये पूरी दुनिया में तस्वीरें जा रही हैं सर. Republic is one of the world's greatest networks. आप क्या समझाते फिरोगे लोगों को? सर आप तो कश्मीर की बात कर रहे हैं, हम बात कर रहे हैं. This gesture of wielding an AK-47. Why are you confirming what the whole world suspects that you are the epicenter of terrorism? You are confirming this.
Who says that?
आतंक and jihad has penetrated to every level, sir. यही तो ना. सर इसका मतलब क्या है?
Ladies and gentlemen, now there's no point arguing. What you've done, you've done. What you've done, you've done. And what we need to do to respond to H1-B visas, we will. On the other side, why I believe this is a great advantage and a huge opportunity. We'll take on those who think it's not.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
मेरी गाड़ी ठोकेगा? पर गलती तो आपकी है. मेरी गलती? तू जानता है मेरा बाप कौन है? ये देखो, पापा और गलती दोनों याद आ जाएंगे. अब देखा किसने सिग्नल तोड़ा?
Cubo dash cams. Get smart, get Cubo.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो.
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता. टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. विद यू लाइक फैमिली. विद यू ऑलवेज.
इशारा समझ ले. इशारा समझ ले. हवा में फिजा में नजारों में इशारे संग हो जा तू मेरे. इशारा समझ ले. इशारा समझ ले. भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना. अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना. इंडिया सोना.
India Zona. Last night, someone broke into Ishan's room. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped him with a loud alarm and alerted the mom.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
Our pure सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
साथियों, विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य तक पहुंचने के लिए हमें आत्मनिर्भरता के रास्ते पर चलना ही होगा और भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने का बहुत बड़ा दायित्व हमारे एमएसएमईज यानी हमारे लघु, मध्यम और कुटीर उद्योगों पर भी है, जो देश के लोगों की जरूरत कम है, जो हम देश में ही बना सकते हैं, वो हमें देश में ही बनाना चाहिए। साथियों, जीएसटी की दरें कम होने से नियम और प्रक्रियाएं और आसान बनने से हमारे एमएसएमईज, हमारे लघु उद्योगों को, कुटीर उद्योगों को बहुत फायदा होगा। उनकी बिक्री बढ़ेगी और टैक्स भी कम देना पड़ेगा, यानी उनको भी डबल फायदा होगा। इसलिए आज मेरी एमएसएमई से लघु उद्योग हो, सूक्ष्म उद्योग हो, कुटीर उद्योग हो, आप सबसे बहुत अपेक्षाएं हैं। आपको भी पता है, जब भारत समृद्धि के शिखर पर था, तब भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था का मुख्य आधार हमारे एमएसएमईज थे, हमारे लघु और कुटीर उद्योग थे। भारत की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, भारत में बने सामानों की क्वालिटी बेहतर होती थी। हमें उस गौरव को वापस पाना है। हमारे लघु उद्योग जो बनाए, वो दुनिया में हर कसौटी पर बेस्ट हो, उत्तम से उत्तम हो। हम जो मैन्युफैक्चर करें, वो दुनिया में आन बान शान के साथ बेस्ट के सारे पैरामीटर को पार करने वाला हो। हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स की क्वालिटी दुनिया में भारत की पहचान बढ़ाए, भारत का गौरव बढ़ाए। हमें इस लक्ष्य को लेकर काम करना है। साथियों, देश की स्वतंत्रता को जैसे स्वदेशी के मंत्र से ताकत मिली, वैसे ही देश की समृद्धि को भी स्वदेशी के मंत्र से ही शक्ति मिलेगी। कल यानी नवरात्रि के प्रथम दिवस 22 सितंबर को सूर्योदय के साथ ही नेक्स्ट जनरेशन
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Last night, someone broke into Ishan's room. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped him with a loud alarm and alerted the mom.
Cubo smart security cameras not just record, it protects.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Last night, someone stole my car. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped him with an automatic spotlight and a blaring alarm.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Last night, someone dropped the caboose. Well, almost. But Cubo AI stopped them with an automatic spotlight and a blaring alarm.
Cubo smart security cameras. Not just record, it protects.
साथियों, हम नागरिक देवो भवः, नागरिक देवो भवः के जिस मंत्र के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन GST रिफॉर्म में इसकी साफ झलक दिखाई देती है। अगर हम इनकम टैक्स में छूट और GST में छूट को जोड़ दें, तो एक साल में जो निर्णय हुए हैं, उससे देश के लोगों को 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की बचत होगी। और तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूं, ये बचत उत्सव है। साथियों, विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य तक पहुंचने के लिए हमें आत्मनिर्भरता के रास्ते पर चलना ही होगा।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Donald Trump has this suicidal streak as far as his governance is concerned. He's decided to impose a $100,000 fee, $100,000 for H1-B visas for skilled foreign workers in the US. Now, this whole idea of the great American dream is now not just at the crossroads. Questions marks are there about it. And if this may go well with Donald Trump's political agenda and please his so-called MAGA vote base. But consider this. Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella and Indira Nooyi, all of them achieved their American dream after moving to the US on H1-B visas. Now, if they were to seek employment for the first time, Satya Nadella would have to shell out, along with Indira Nooyi, Sundar Pichai and maybe Elon Musk as well, $100,000 as a fee. I have two straight questions today. Has the American dream, therefore, failed, and is it clearly over, absolutely over, for Indian tech professionals? We must come to terms with this fact, and to Indian tech professionals, I would say, don't be under any sort of sentimental attachment to the American dream. This is not just arm twisting by Trump to get an upper hand on the negotiations in the India-US bilateral trade deal. I believe there's a sense of finality to this move. It will be difficult to reverse, and this is the time for Indian techies working in the US to truly ask themselves why they want to be in a country that does not value them, A, which does not respect them. Why do they desperately want to be in a country that makes them feel unwanted? That is telling them effectively that they will never be part of American society, that they will forever be marginalized. Unfortunately, for some Indian techies, they believe this is just one bad dream. It's not. It's irreversible change in policy. Regardless of who comes to power, this will not change. And therefore, I completely agree when Sridhar Vembu of Zoho tweets, as he tweeted day before yesterday, he says that while it may be difficult, this is the right thing for talented Indian technology professionals and other professionals to come back to the country, serve the country, and even if it takes 3 to 5 years to settle down, they will be doing something far more productive. More than that, Indians in the United States of America should not be under any illusion that this is not aimed at them. Donald Trump is a use and throw politician. He has used the Indian vote. He got people like Shalabh Kumar and others and Hindu Republican Association to woo Indian voters. And now he's going after Indians because 71% of H1-B visas are held by Indians. Indians constitute 71% of H1-B visas. Of course, this is aimed at Indians. Indians make up 30 to 35% of Silicon Valley's workforce. This is aimed at that workforce. In 2024, 2.83 lakh talented Indians got the H1-B visas. Now, to those 2.83 and to all of those who are on H1-B visas, I ask you, why would you want to be in a country which is telling you to get out? If this seems too crude, and if you still believe sentimentally that no, this will all go and one day you will be an American, you will never be. You will always be marked out. I'm not asking you to flee, but consider your options well. Consider the future of your families, and if possible, come back and serve your motherland. There are so many people who've done that, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, give the example of the great Sridhar Vembu. He's a great entrepreneur, built this company, and I just had a tweet some time back which was put out by Ashwini Vaishnav, who says, I am moving to Zoho, our own Swadeshi platform for documents, spreadsheets and presentations. I urge all to join Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's call for Swadeshi by adopting indigenous products and services. Now, who has made Zoho a $1 billion plus revenue organization? It's Sridhar Vembu. And he has come back to India. He runs this magnificent organization, ladies and gentlemen, from Tamil Nadu. And he is doing something that so many other techies can follow and take an example from. Turning back to the situation in H1-B visas, you can do a lot for your country from Indian soil. Ladies and gentlemen, though just 1.5% of the US population, Indians pay 5 to 6% of America's total income tax. And yet, Trump is effectively telling them that they are not wanted. They are paying $250 to $300 billion annually in income tax in the US. As of 2024, 16 Fortune 500 companies are led by Indian origin CEOs who together employ 2.7 million Americans and generate over $1 trillion in revenue. And they are now being told that you're not really wanted here. We want a MAGA vote bank to serve Trump. So to Donald Trump, get your MAGA vote bank to have the kind of intellectual prowess and work attitude of the Indians working in the US, and that would have been possible. Indians have competed in American society to get where they are. And therefore, once again, I truly believe that 40%, ladies and gentlemen, of Google's engineers are Indians. Are they not on H1-B visas? Out of almost 1 million physicians in America, 2.6 lakh are immigrants. And among them, 59,000 are Indians, making up 22% of all immigrant doctors. So Indians contribute to health, technology, startups, and every aspect of the capitalist economy in the United States of America. And today, if all those people were to come back, if half of them were to come back, imagine the impact they would have on our society, and India would welcome them back with open arms. And here is a country going at 7.88, 8.5% in the future. Will we not be absolutely blessed if they come back? Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is making a big mistake because 72 of the 358 US unicorns since 2018 have been founded by Indians. These are not empty statistics. These are realities. And therefore, this is a great opportunity for us to stall the brain drain, ladies and gentlemen. There have been many cases where the Indians have gone across the world as skilled and global-minded citizens, and they have gone and built the economies of all these Western countries. If these Indians can build these billion-dollar companies abroad, why can't we create the same unicorns in India? Why can't 1 out of every 2 Indian companies be a global company? We can, ladies and gentlemen, from manufacturing to IT, to R&D, to artificial intelligence. This could actually be the turning point for our economy. Let's make the most of it. Let's thank Donald Trump for showing the road back home to the best of minds from India in the United States of America. And to all my fellow Indians who are there in the US, who are going through pain and difficulty because of the moves of Donald Trump, be assured your country awaits your return. Let's debate.
From the Silicon Valley to Hyderabad, a seismic shift in US immigration policy is sending ripples across the tech world. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation imposing a new $100,000 fee on H1-B visa applications, designed to attract highly skilled foreign workers. The H1-B program has long been the gateway for global talent to the United States. But the Trump administration now argues that the H1-B system is being exploited.
One of the most abused visa systems in our current immigration system has been the H1-B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America.
The country would rather not have to pay $100,000, but they'd rather, how do you do that? You hire Americans. So there's an incentive to hire American. But there may be instances where it's better off doing it through expertise or whatever it may be. But they're both unbelievable, whether it's a gold card or anything else that we talked about today.
The Trump White House has packaged the H1-B visa fee hike as a crucial policy decision that will benefit Americans.
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs.
India, which accounts for 72% of all H1-B visa holders, is expected to feel the largest impact. Hours after Trump's announcement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized India's push for Swadeshi and self-reliance.
आज जाने अनजाने हमारी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में बहुत सी विदेशी चीजें जुड़ गई है, हमें पता तक नहीं है। हमारे जेब में कंघी विदेशी है कि देसी, हमें पता ही नहीं है। हमें इनसे भी मुक्ति पानी होगी। हम वो सामान खरीदें जो मेड इन इंडिया हो।
Taking a sharp dig at Trump's policy decision, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said the US is wary of India's tech talent.
दुनिया समझती है भारत की ताकत क्या है। ऐसे नहीं है कि पूरे विश्व के अलग अलग देश भारत के साथ फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट भी करना चाहते हैं, भारत से व्यापार बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, संबंध सुधारना चाहते हैं। थोड़ा बहुत हमारे टैलेंट से डरते भी हैं।
President Trump boasts that companies will pay top dollar for H1-B workers.
Everyone's going to be happy, and we're going to be able to keep people in our country that are going to be very productive people. And in many cases, these companies are going to pay a lot of money for that, and they're very happy about it.
However, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has now issued a clarification that the proclamation applies only to new visas, not renewals. In a statement issued by the Ministry of External Affairs here in New Delhi, they have said that the full implications of Trump's move are nevertheless being studied. But the real debate is, would this costly policy